This is a short demonstration to provide you with some interactive ideas on how you may teach elements of poetry within your early years class. In this particular tutorial, I'm looking at couplets and limericks. Now, to begin with, those are students about their prior knowledge. So you ask them what are poems. R3 students generally have limited background on poetry, so I use the comparison to sport. Each sport has its own set of rules and its own purpose. So do the different forms of poems, for example, limericks, couplets, haiku, acrostic, and so forth. I usually introduce rhymes first because it's easier for the R3 students. So we look at rhyming words in general. Now this resource here, I've used the camera tool to create a screen capture of the interactive site, and I've copied and pasted the URL. This website is an interactive one, so students can type in a word. I might type in log, and then it will generate a range of words that rhyme, and it also categorizes them in terms of the syllables they have. After using this site, I will then actually look at what actually are syllables. I've used a screen capture again and copy and pasted the URL here for a syllable site. This is called Syllable Factory. So it's a free site, so you can select a level, select start, and the first word is computer, which is 3 syllables. And each time the students get a correct answer, it actually builds part of their robot up here, which is a great interactive activity for students. So I've actually introduced couplets. Here I've used a screen shade, which is the tool at the top here. Other forms of interactive software have a similar function. So you can drag down. Couplets have 2 lines that rhyme. Read the couplets below. And by using the screen shade, I'm able to limit the amount of text that students are actually reading at the time. So rather than a student reading down here, and we're actually discussing a point up here, the screen shade allows you to reveal text as you need it. This here is an interactive flash file which comes from the gallery. It's called category sort. So if you go to your gallery and type in category sort, you can drag across this activity. Here I'm looking at sorting rhyming words. So for example, the students can come up to the board and they can drag the words to where they think they should go. You have a check function. You can check, you can reset, and you can also solve. So students are getting automatic feedback in terms of the answers of their words that rhyme. This here is a flash file. It comes with notebook software, which I've actually put as a download on the site. So here you can choose your blend, for example UGG. This works really well because the students can click and they can actually flick it across, and it works very well on the interactive smartboard. Okay, and we've got the word grug, and the student can come and flick. And here we haven't formed a word. It's actually good for wordplay and identifying real words and pretend words within the English language. This is a great site I've found which you can play on any board. We played it today with students and that was absolutely fantastic. It's called Rocket Rhyming. So here you have a plane that comes in and students can choose a level. And our word is cash, so students have to come and find a word that rhymes with it and fire at the missile, which requires multiple touches on the board and is very exciting for all students. Following on for this, I'd introduce limericks, which is a short poem which rhymes. You can notice here all I've done is used a colour change in the text. So verse 1 or line 1, 2 and 5 rhyme, and verse 3 and 4 rhyme, hence the different changes in colour. Then here is introduce students to write their own limericks. I've used a dice which comes from the gallery. It's called a word dice. So you go to the gallery, type in dice, and then you can edit your dice by selecting the edit button. Using an interactive dice, each student is able to come up and touch the board. They are then able to receive a name and go back to their tables and write the limerick. With a class of 30, this means that you don't have 30 students all writing a limerick about Tim. You have a range of students writing limericks about Tim or Matt or so forth. And of course, there is the other option of writing a limerick with a girl's name.